I think I may have set that up right. Ken, how are you? Chris, good morning. Thank you for being here. Tova, good to see you again. YouTube folks should be streaming in right now. Facebook folks should be streaming in right now. Patricia says, second time joining us. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Without you, there's no me. So thanks for coming. Kaz, good morning. Let me get my soundproofing shade down here a little bit. Hang on. Anti-echo shade. It's not really an anti-echo shade, but it kind of works. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Simon, good morning. Good morning. We're going to start on time. Oh, it is on time. Holy cow. I'm going to show you the trade I had percolating here on the side. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jim Cagnina, and I'm the Senior Education and Training Specialist for the NinjaTrader platform. Today's event is we do every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday trade setups in the E-mini S&P 500 market. I do want to remind everybody that trading futures, options on futures, involves substantial risk of loss, not suitable for all traders and investors. Oftentimes in futures trading, you have a high combination of leverage and volatility, and although that can be an equation for opportunity, also an equation for risk. Only fund your futures trading account with risk capital. Everybody's unique and different in this world, and we understand that. Just be in a good spot, easy on the personal stress. And my personal definition, the money I could afford to lose doesn't change my lifestyle or lengthen my retirement horizon, and overly doesn't stress me out. So that's kind of me. Everyone's different. Understand that. Any questions on the risk, let me know. Good morning, Terrence from Seattle. Oatmeal type of day in Seattle. Hoosman, good morning. MA, good morning. Good to see you. Level 2 trading had a pretty good, lovely, logical trade. I have actually a trade experiment going on right here with the ultra bonds, and these are one of these markets where this is kind of like the Nasdaq of the interest rate complex, because it moves. Its average true range and its daily ranges are big compared to the regular bonds. When I say regular, the 30-year Treasury bonds or the ZB, and particularly in the face of this whole pending Fed either doom and gloom or pending Fed happiness. Who knows what we're going to see? I went ahead and threw a trade in here. Anyway, again, I'm in a real-time sim account, real-time data, simulated live account with the NinjaTrader platform. You can see my position here is short from 03, and my logic was, here's my logic anyway. I don't know if it's any good or not, but we had prices depreciate, right? We started up here in a high at 26, 199.26. Remember, these bonds are traded in 30 seconds. And we came all the way back down to the low of 198 even. That's almost two handles. That's almost $2,000 per contract. And then we traced back up here, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to pick one up, right? This retracement level hopefully will hold the 61.8%. Hopefully we don't close above it, and try to get short on that on a wide range of retracement with the target back down here to the point of control. The stop in this trade idea is one tick above the top of the value area, which makes it a little risky because this is for sure a volatile market. So anyway, that was just my idea this morning. I thought I'd throw it in there. And we'll see how it goes. I have my indicator, my chart set so that it shows me when I actually placed that trade, right? So this was not this candle, right? It was previous candle. So 9:50, sometime between 9:50 and 10 o'clock, I threw that in there. Well, actually, I had the limit order in there a long time ago, but it got filled on this particular candle with that wick. We'll see what happens here. I don't like the higher lows and the higher highs on these candles that we have seen recently here. Higher high, higher high. This one doesn't have a higher high. That's a good sign. And I have a tight range here because again, we're pre-Fed announcement. There was some also other economic releases this morning. We'll talk about those in detail. But anyway, I know we're sidetracked we're deviating from the norm here. So let's go back to the ES. Any questions on that? Type them in. Bando, good morning. Thanks for being here. So here we are, double distribution brewing so far on the ES. I don't know if this is going to be an important Fed meeting or not. The market is treating it as such. The Bloomberg folks talking heads this morning are treating it as such, where they had 4 different panelists giving 4 different opinions on what the Fed's going to do. I was like, really? So I do expect some sort of, and I use the term reversion to the mean, but some kind of strength in the point of control here. And as we kind of develop this volume profile between now and 2 o'clock, and I think we're going to be in anticipatory mode right now. So, I'm a little bit, having said that, I do want to pull back up higher, at least to the bottom of the value area right now. So I'd be looking to probably try to get in a long position right now with a relatively tight stop in the ES, and we'll do the big ES. Why not? I'm going to go ahead and do the Fibonacci retracement. Let's go high to low. Oh, Jim, come on. Sorry. Bad chart management, Jim. Let's get this right. Sorry about that. F8 key, baby. I remembered it. F8's my hot key. It triggers the fib tool, high to low. There we are, right at that 23.6%, and there's my order. And I'm gonna go 6 to 8 ticks below the low to give me my stop. And it would be a so that's what we're looking at right now, in my humble opinion. We do have this turn up in the CCI. I like that. I like this sloping upward motion right here. We're still minus 222. That's a little scary, but that's okay. Moving average cross, not looking good for a long position, but we're looking for a turnaround right now, so I'm not too incredibly worried. The only other thing that worries me a little bit is we do have this volume down here that has accumulated around 4611. So if you wanted to be more conservative, you'd put your order down at that competing point of control, I'm going to call it, instead of where I put mine. And but here we go. We're in. We are in. Profit target time. Right now I'm going to look at that. I think the point of control might be too aggressive. The original point of control, 2850, but certainly the 50% retracement level, which is right above the bottom of the value area here, isn't a bad idea for now. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. And there we are. Take a deep breath. Think about what we just did. Thomas, hello. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Thomas is in the house. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning. Let's just take a look at my notes here. I don't know if I have good notes or not, but let's take a look anyway. Mortgage, MBA mortgage. I don't know about you guys, but this Charlotte housing market is hot. Man, houses are flying off the shelves faster than donuts off the conveyor belt at Krispy Kreme, which is right across the street from my house, from my apartment. And my temporary abode, anyway, it's right across the street. There's this giant Krispy Kreme factory. It's horrible. It's breaking down all of my strength and my courage, and it's making me weak. But in any event, that's the sidetrack here. The housing market's hot here anyway. It's probably hot other places. We do have applications down a tad, but the purchase index is up a tad. So I don't know if this is anything that to write home about, other than it was an interesting piece of data. And you can go back and actually plot the MBA mortgage application, which really what you should be doing, to see what the trend is. I haven't done that yet. Retail sales, weak, which was, I think, surprised a lot of people. I think retail sales, everybody thought was going to be strong. And keep in mind, retail sales is not adjusted for inflation, right? So, which makes it even more of a puzzle why the actual is only 0.3 versus the 0.8 consensus. So I don't know, but that was a surprise. That one was a zinger. On the flip side of that coin, Empire State Manufacturing is pretty strong, 31.8. That beat consensus. It beat the consensus range entirely. Top of the range was 30. And then import-export prices. I don't know what to make of this. This is going to be a factor of the U.S. dollar versus other currency crosses more than anything else, in my opinion. But we're right in consensus range mostly. Import prices year on year, maybe a little high. And then I don't know what's going on with the rest of this stuff, because I was talking to you guys. Business inventories came out, housing market index. I don't think any of this stuff's going to move the needle. I think it's 2 o'clock now. This is what we're up against. This is what we're looking at. Let's just shoot over to our ultra bond trade real quickly. UB, and see what that's looking like. That's not looking good at all. It's looking like we're going to get stopped out. So my trade idea might have been a bad one, but we'll see. We will see. Top of the value area right now, and it's not surprising that this is inversely related to the ES trade idea. 3, 4, 5 candles where we could not close in the rectangle, right? That's really giving support to the idea that this is support, right? However, this wick is here teasing us. I don't like that. That wick is there teasing us. There in this particular candle, buyer and seller did a deal down here at 06. Right, and a lot of times that's ominous. So we're going to kind of keep our eye on this thing here, and maybe what we'll do is we'll adjust our stop, and then we'll adjust our target once we get a little bit more traction on the upside. If we get a little bit more traction on the upside, and we have a higher high, barely, but we have a higher high, that's positive. CCI is again sloping upward pretty nicely, minus 118. That's a good sign. Moving average cross is a little slow to capitulate. Right, it's kind of, it's still diverging. So it's a little bit of a negative drag on my brain right now. Level 2 trading bought a position at 46.11. Great trade. 46.11 would have been. Let me put my crosshairs here. 46.11 is right at the bottom of these bodies of the candle. This is nice. About 4 handles into it. Thank you, Isabella, for that. Carlos says 46.37 to 50 area in control for now. 46.37. Ooh, that's way up here. Really? Well, that would be nice. Let's toggle over to the MNQ while we are waiting. MNQ. And I want to make sure I get the March one, right? There we go. Oops, my rectangle's a little bit off. So yeah, it's looking pretty positive right now. I am inclined to do something here. Here's the competing point of control, the bottom of this candle here. I think that'd be a good entry. Oops, sorry. Again, this is a micro, and these candles are wickedly big and wickedly wild, so you got to be careful there. Stop loss, you're almost in danger of putting a stop loss down here. So you're asking for somebody to say, hey, I want to trade at your price. So we're going to go we're just going to go a good 7 handles below the bottom of that wick, and we'll go ahead and throw it in. All right, so there's that one percolating. We'll see what happens there. Okay, so level 2 says numbers see yesterday's value area low plus 1 point because needed to wait for price action. By the way, Jim, the YouTube is back and working. Okay, great. Sorry about that, guys. We are exploring better ways to stream, by the way. As a matter of fact, I had the dreaded Skype conference call this morning with some pretty bright folks at NinjaTrader, and we were talking about maybe better streaming process or maybe more inclusive streaming process. So that's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's on the chalkboard. It's written on the chalkboard. Dow is down 133. Let's shoot back over to ES, see what we're looking at. We're unched. Unched means unchanged. Point of control is completely shifted to where we got in at. Not sure that's a good thing for us. I like to get in below the point of control or above the point of control, but we didn't know where it was going to be exactly, right? It was way up north a minute ago. It was at 28. Now we're down here at 13. That's 15 handle. It's a lot of distance here. Classic double distribution, right? What that tells me is, and this makes sense looking at the candle, is this area in the middle here where it's low volume between the double distribution, or you can call it a B-shaped profile if it makes you feel better. I like the word double distribution better. And you see this volume vacuum, right? Not a lot of stuff in the middle here, right? And that's because it didn't spend any time there. right? I mean, buyers and sellers did not think this was a good idea. Buyers and sellers did not agree on this price. They kind of blew it off quickly, and you could look at the candle here, and we just boom, broke bad real quick. So that's kind of an interesting phenomenon. The other negative thing so far in our trade idea, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, is we have these wicks, a lot of sellers coming in here. 1, 2, 3, pretty decent sized wick. Let me get rid of my crosshairs. That's mucking stuff up. 1, 2, 3, 4 big candles there, which are, buyers, sellers coming in, sellers coming in, sellers coming in. Think of it as a piston pushing this thing down. Where at the bottom of this, at the bottom of these candles, the last two anyway, we don't have a wick. Level 2 says, people still use Skype? Haha, as Zoom shareholder, I'm a bit miffed. I hear you. No, this was just me and a couple dudes couple guys doing Skype early this morning in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, one of them was in Chicago. Anyway. Carlos says the origin on the imbalance that led to the recent impulsive sell off. It uses the word impulsive. I like that. 46.37 to 46.50. Very interesting use of words. I think there's also, it's not unusual to see when we enter into any type of uncertainty, a bearish bias, right? Fear and greed is what we're talking about. Bearish bias here. We'll see if cooler heads prevail at 2 o'clock. In any event, let's take a look at, let's take a look at crude. We did that yesterday. It was kind of fun. I'm gonna do the micro crude again. That was a lot of fun. This is what is today? Wednesday? We have our inventory. All right, this is important. We already had our inventory number, right? Let's see if my recollection is correct. 10:30, no, 2 minutes. Oh, perfect timing. All right, 10:30, is the EIA Petroleum Status Report. This is the weekly supply report that's published every week and followed widely, right? This is an important number. You get that red bubble next to it, meaning important, caution, and it does kind of move the markets around. So that's actually coming up here in a minute. Let's just take a look and see how crude oil prices react at the 10:30 bar. It'll be fun, and then we could kind of make a decision on that. I don't have access to the report off the top of my head, but one shortcut that we could use for that is the Econo Day calendar of events. And here it is. And then we'll see what happens here. It should give us another column once the data is accumulated. Nope, there we go. Look at that. We have a pretty big rally here, at least temporarily, as this data gets assimilated. Bid-ask spreads have disappeared in the micros. So you're going to have to really be patient. Give yourself a wide berth. Enter on limit orders, best practices, not on market orders. Again, this is my suggestion, my recommendation. And that is, looks like there's some upward pressure there. But not knowing what the report says, kind of in the dark here. So we're not going to probably go ahead and. All right, something happened here. I heard order filled someplace. Let's see. Well, you know what? We're probably long now in the MNQ. We are. Could you guys hear that, by the way, through the stream when my NinjaTrader software tells me order filled? Could you guys actually hear that? Out of curiosity? Okay, Terrence says yes. Thanks. Okay, so we're in it now. We have a stop there. We don't have a target yet. On this, we have the CCI at 103, 102. Moving average cross is not helping us. One iota. It's still 45 handles apart. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go. We're up about 13 points so far. That's not bad, but we have a lot of work to do. Higher low, higher low, higher low. which is good. I want to see a higher high, and I think that's going to be the answer. I want to see a higher high, and then I got to put a fib line in here just to make me feel better. It's going to make me feel better. I'm going to go ahead and put the Fibonacci retracement in here and get my crosshairs back. Sorry about that. I'm going in high. I'm counting this wick, this data, and that wick is wicked, but we're going to count it. Go high to low. Take a look. 38 is here. 50 is here. 61 here. 914 here. So again, I'm digging this 50% retracement. If I want to be south of it a little bit, it'll correspond to the top, another higher high on a candle. And I think this might be a good target. I'm going to throw that in right now and we'll see what happens here. Feeling good about it. Griffin is talking about, this is past performance. We don't talk about past performance in here, Griffin, by the way. No, I'm kidding you. He says, how did you like that supported 4,600 call yesterday? That was pretty good. I'm going to give you some credit. I was looking at that 4603 fib retracement. So you were probably, 3 points better. Fine, I'll say it out loud. Everybody knows. Carson says, please stay on YouTube. Okie doke. Well, I'm going to write that on the notepad. We gotta vote for YouTube. I think the idea, though, Carson, is to come up with a streaming platform that feeds into everything. That's a little more speedy. Okay, so level 2, guys, here's some data from Forex Factory. Level 2 says expected was not minus 1.8 million. This is on the crude oil, and it was minus 4.6 million, which means inventory was a lot less, which means there's less supply, which means the prices will go up, right? That's just economics 101. Griffin said it was posted in real time. You're trying to all right already. All right, Griffin, I got it. It was good. It was good. All right, Patricia got 24 ticks on the 24 ticks on the MNQ exit. That's awesome. That's great news. Love to hear it. Same entry. I'm going to be a little bit more patient. Time is on our side right now, and I don't know. I say that all the time, don't I? It might not be on our side, but again, I want to see a higher high on the next candle. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. And so I might be a few ticks above where I should be. And then from my stop, I'm going to start moving the stop up in a second. Level 2 says free trade. Now, yeah, sure, I could move it up, but these candles, this volatility. Look at it. Look at the quote board. I mean, it's like popcorn. So, got to respect that a little bit. So until I don't know, let's see what happens. We got another 6 minutes before this candle does something positive. And I'm hoping that what it does is it gets to my order, of course, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it makes you feel better, you can go ahead and move it to break even, but consider, let me get rid of that plot markers only. I don't want to plot that anymore. It's in my way. Okay, so the bottom of this candle is right where we entered. And I'm just a little bit nervous about it, to be honest with you. So we'll just be patient and see what happens here. See if we can tick up a little bit. A little bit more. I think now it's time to start raising things up. Now it's the time to start raising things up. See if we can get a little bit more lift up here. There we go. All right, so get rid of that stop. All right, so that kind of panned out. I mean, we're still marching up north here. CCI's, the slope is still positive, minus 57 still not zero yet, but moving average crush is now it's only 41 points apart. Right, it was 45 points apart a second ago. So that's another step in the right direction. If you're bullish, maybe you kept that long position on for now. I don't know. Let's shoot over to the ES though. We forgot about that one. Then we're going to go back to crude. I'm fascinated in the crude now that I know what the inventory number is. Okay, our target and stops right now. I'm going to respect the stop level right now. The target right above the 50%. You know, you could argue, well, maybe you want to be a little bit more. Oops, I'm sorry about that, guys. What happened? Maybe we want to be a little bit less aggressive and consider our options right here. And I think there's a couple options right here. If you're getting nervous about it, 38.2%, you could bail. You move your stop to break even and let it go. You know, again though, you're going to be moving your stop on the contemporary candle, and I don't often like to do that, but you know, again, we've learned our lesson the hard way, right? And Griffin has taught me a lot. So I'm going to move this up to there. I'm going to tighten up my target a little bit. We're going to try to surround the market right now. Oops, sorry. I'm going to try to surround the market right now. I'm going to have my crosshairs up. I'm going to look at the other wicks. You know, we have barely a higher high on this wick right here. Now we're kind of having a more of a higher high right now. NASDAQ's only down 34, RTY 19, YM 108. Things seem to be going in the bullish direction right now, at least temporarily. And this 38.2% might be my new stop. Nope, it won't be, because we would get stopped out right away. We'll be patient. And we are going to try to just kind of tick ourselves up a little bit. If we get stopped, we get stopped. That's okay. It's the way it works. That's the way it works. But I think this trade management, this new trade management paradigm on the live trade setups are exciting. They're fulfilling. Griffin, it makes me feel good. Bolmara E-mini S&P stock index futures. I do not know how to say that in Spanish. I wish I can. ES. Carlos, hang on a sec. We got a 45.88 and a 44.91. The next area of potential imbalance and a possible bounce. The thesis that price behavior at times is determined by what contextually precedes it. I'm all for the idea of looking at as much data as you can, even going backward a little bit, to look at supply and demand patterns and try to see where, you know, where price happiness was, you know, where traders were happy, you know, where traders were, you know, felt good about price. I just ticked up my stop a little bit using my dome, my trading ladder here. All right, we're filled there. I'm going to get out of that. Wow, look at this thing go. Do we have a new candle yet? No, one more minute. Let's see what happens to the next candle. See what happens on the next candle. Man, oh man, top of the value area is being rated right now. Level 2 says it gives me something to do. I know, I can hear the dog barking in the background. I have a car alarm going off on the left-hand side of me. And we're just waiting for Powell. Let's shoot over to the crude though right now. Let's see if this thing settles up here. See if we can complete the retracement here. I'm looking, that would be interesting. We can complete the retracement at 61.8%. And this is giving me this idea that today was the day where everything's going to settle where it starts, because the market's already assimilated whatever Powell is going to say at 2 o'clock. Let's shoot over here to, I could be wrong, which happens all the time. Micro crude, yep, it's maintained its positivity. So far, MCL, this is a really nice market to scale in and scale out of. But you know, you really need a fib number. And the problem with this fib number that I'm going to throw up here right now is it's going to be really, really quick one, because I want to fib around the inventory report. The inventory report, you know, really from an intraday trade point of view, really moves stuff around, and it's tight. So that's what the fib looks like right now from a real short day trade point of view. And we have a whole bunch of areas of interest: 23.6, 38.2 value area. Look at that slope of that CCI is pretty gnarly. Moving average cross now is only, I don't know, 22 ticks. Sorry. So that's definitely coming together right now. Like the 38.8. Oh, wrong account. Ooh, if I was going to fix this and I didn't. This was bad webinar management on my part. And then the bottom of the value area, I think, right between 50 and the bottom of the value area right here is a second unit. And, the problem here is we got, the stops can be kind of, at least originally, our catastrophic stop we're going to put in here at the bottom of the wick on the left, and it will be a sell stop. We're going to make it a 2-lat. And we're going to keep it there. The other thing I want to look at, though, is what happened to my Ultra bond. I know I got stopped out, but let's see what it looks like. Yeah, so this is the problem with the fibs, right? We have this fib that we drew low to high. We retraced, and then we closed above the 61. So it kind of invalidates the fib, right? We closed above it, and then we had a couple more dojis right after it, and then we've had some selling. Probably, the selling is it looked like it's directly inversely related to the equity market rally we just had right there. So anyway, I mean, that's all right. It's I'm not interested in doing anything in the Ultra bonds right now. I think the point of control may be a very valid target, 98 and 25, 30 seconds. We're going to leave it alone. Thank you, level 2. Griffin says, could retrace to 30. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment. Griffin, are you talking about this particular? Oh, okay, could retrace to the 30s. Yeah, I mean, that's yesterday's close, give or take. Top of the value area. You must have a line you forgot about, Griffin, to get to 30, but I hear you. We'll see. Another thing will be interesting is, will the volume gap here fill in? This area of weakness here, it's still an area of weakness. So from 21 down to 19 3/4, that void there is very small, but will it get filled in or not? Or is that just, that area is completely, we ignore that completely? That's the big question. I'm going to type this in, ES for Bulmara. ES. I think I could type it in here. Yeah, E-mini. This is the Zoom thing's the only thing I could type in. There we go. Hopefully that helps. Bulmara. If anybody knows anybody who wants to work with me and translate into Spanish, please let me know. Level 2 to Griffin. I respect VWAP. I make sure and secure most of my dollars, and there's $3 signs instead of just $1 sign, at logical pause points. Volume weighted average price. And, it's a good tool on. It's a good tool on. Let me just kind of show you. I'm just going to go new. We'll just go new chart. We're going to select ES and double click on that guy. We'll do a minute chart, 10-minute chart. Keep it simple. Hit OK. I'm going to move this over, and then we're going to right click, and we are going to do the indicator thing, and we are going to go to order flow VWAP, volume weighted average price. Double click, and we have a bunch of properties here on the left hand side. I'm going to come back to this, and so we can see what we could change and we can't see. Let me just move this out of the way. So the VWAP is the red line, or the green line. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red. It's in the middle. Then you have bands around it, right? 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations. And, oh, hang on, let me hit OK there. And, what do you look for? Well, you look for trading around a standard deviation band, right? So as we're butting up against the standard deviation bands, the trader might say, well, we're not, we're not closing below this very much. I might want to go long. Or if the another common way to look at the order flow VWAP is, hey, once we close above the actual volume weighted average price line, center line, then that means we're bearish. It's time to time to go long. And that would have been a bad idea if you would have said that. But in any event, we can start looking at that. I just haven't, I don't have it as part of my arsenal, but I do see, I heard something made a noise. So let's go to positions. Okay, so our micro crude oil is in play right now. So let's go ahead and toggle back over to the micro crude oil and see what it's looking like. MCL. Let me do some adjustments here. CCI 66, but starting to slow down. Moving average cross is 30 is 8, which is a good thing for our long position. And then let me just do some little trade chart management. And there we go. So this is a micro right now. We got our first unit up about 11 ticks. And remember, this is 1/10 the size, right, of the regular crude oil contract. So this is, right now it's $11, right? It's $1 a tick. Oh, now it's bouncing around. Now it's 8. Now it's 8. I got to switch this over here to my other account so you can see it on the trading ladder also. And again, I use this really tight fib line for the entry, which means, I want to see a higher high on the exit for this one unit. I'm going to throw that in there right now. I'm going to keep this anatomy of the trade exactly how it is. I wouldn't mind a second unit. If you're more aggressive, maybe you move that second unit target, up to the point of control. And that would be reasonable. Or maybe to the 50% retracement. That would be reasonable. I'm going to leave it as it is right now. We'll see what happens. Griffin says lines are 4,600, 4,660 on the daily. Anything between that is an inside bar. Got it? A lot of overnight action at the 30 area. That's something we never really explored too much, was the overnight action. I'm just going to put my crosshairs at the 30. And you could see, this is a good observation, because if you just kind of glance at all of the bars since we opened last night, it has crossed over this 30 area a whole bunch of times up until the cash open. So that would be an area of interest. I mean, look at how many times, and it corresponds, of course, with, the close yesterday. So it's within a few ticks of the close yesterday. So we'll see. I don't know if we're going to get there or not. Maybe not. It's going to look at this thing a little bit more. With this point of control so far south right now, a lot of volume accumulating at 13 also. So I would not be a buyer until south of the 13. And if you're a seller, that would be a good target, I think. With actually a nice place to place your stop, actually. Let's just do a 38% retracement. And then stop, I'm going to go 6 ticks above. Be a buy stop. And the target would be my rectangle. If, in fact, we weren't too late to the party. Level 2 puked the last section of positions at 46.18. Patricia is short something I don't recognize. Hello from the Ukraine. Natalie, thanks for coming. Carlos says randomness is often logic in training and always beats human brain perceptions. Isn't this fun? I like what you said yesterday in regard to understanding market correction differently. They don't correct rather than they behave, hence the definition as efficient, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I think you use the word efficient, which I like. This is literally, going back to my MBA training, and we talked a lot about market efficiency and water seeks its level and all of that stuff, if I recall, 35 years ago. But this is an efficient place. And look at the bids and asks. Look how deep it is. Look how many participants there are here. This is an efficient, a super efficient market, and you get confirmation on that when you turn on Bloomberg in the morning. right? And you get fair value prices for the S&P. But you're getting quotes for the S&P futures also on Bloomberg, and because that's, when they say, oh, look at, the futures are looking to open 10 handles, 10 points lower today, and that's because it's an efficient market. It's telling us where buyers and sellers think this should be priced at, in a democratic way. Griffin says, perfect pull down on the 9-minute to head on down. Yeah, I'm just throwing in. I mean, I'm right at the 38% retracement, give or take. If I wanted to be exact, I'd probably just bring it down a tick. There we go. And be patient and wait. I think it's important. Right now, if you're not patient, you potentially have a 3-handle disadvantage, right? So I want to be patient and see if we could undisadvantage ourselves. Although we do have a new candle, lower high so far, lower low so far. Anything is possible. YM is down 118. We got filled, probably stopped out on the micro crude. Let's go back over there and see. MCL. No, we got our second unit. Sweet. Okay, I feel good about that. Does everybody else feel good about that? Second unit. We're running out of time though here. All right, so we have one more thing we have to decide. Where do we want to get? Where do we want to get? Our average price is here, 69.66. I would like to peel off one of the units, hopefully for a winner chicken dinner. And I am going to go ahead and use the 23.6 only after I look at the volume. Volume's jiggity jaggedy up there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. 23.6 for one of the units. And this would be a sell. So there's the anatomy of the trade for this one. I'm going to start tightening up the stop because again, we closed below that 61.8%. We might be just completely dead wrong. I'm going to use the body of these previous candles right here. I could draw a rectangle there. Let's do that. Rectangle time. And I'm going to use that area there as my stop management for now. So I'm going to move that right up there. And there it is. There's the anatomy of this particular trade. I'm going to just sit on my hands right now and let it go. Natalie, thanks for asking that question. Great question. She says, will the recording be on the YouTube channel? Answer is yes. I don't know for how long. I think for a little while. They're up there, and they're all of them. You can see what we did yesterday, the day before, last week. If you're really, really bored in the UK, in the Ukraine, you can listen to them all instead of Netflix or whatever you like to whatever you like to look at. But thanks for asking that question. And while we're waiting, we're going to stick around for one more, 6 more minutes for another candle to populate here on our chart. I do want to remind everybody that trading futures options on futures involves substantial risk of loss, not suitable for all traders and investors. Oftentimes in futures trading, you have a high combination of leverage and volatility, and although that could be an equation for opportunity, also equation for risk. So be careful. Only fund your futures trading account with risk capital. Don't overly stress yourself. Natalie says, you need to listen carefully and translate into my native language. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am. I'm sorry. I am. I got you. All right. So Natalie says, I am. I need to listen carefully and translate into my native language. I hear you. I appreciate you coming. This is truly a global phenomenon. The great thing about futures trading, and I was talking to a reporter yesterday about this, is the, I should say reporter intermediary yesterday, is the transparent nature of the markets, right? So this pricing that we're seeing here, I'm in Charlotte. There's folks here that are in Chicago, in Arizona, in the UK. in maybe Japan, I don't know, Australia, wherever everyone's from, you see the same thing. You see the same trading ladder. You see pricing. You have the same execution abilities. Internet speeds are measured in milliseconds these days. And that's the unique thing about this, right? If you're trading stock options, especially if you're doing it, I guess you really can't, there isn't really a really good way to trade stock options in the extended trading hours, they call it in the equity world, but you don't see the whole pool, right? You won't see the whole pool. And it looks like, anyway. All right, so level 2 trading, says Jim, as a recovering electrical engineer building methanol and ammonia plants, the word efficiency gives me PTSD. Oh no. Oh my goodness. I hear you. Small island guy from Trinidad and Tobago. Island life is the best life. Are you really from Trinidad and Tobago? Wow. This is small island life. Karsten, I'm confused by your question. Why are you trading the MCL 0222 instead of the MCL 0222? Greetings from Germany. I just rolled that over today. The NinjaTrader software suggested it. You don't have to if you don't want, but there's enough volume to be there. So we are there. All right, so let's kind of tighten everything up here. We got 2 more minutes before the next one. Yeah, I mean, you could trade January, Karsten, on this one. I just rolled everything over on NinjaTrader just to make it easier for me. But usually you should be where all the volume is right now. But this is the next one, I guess. So this is the next one. All right, so where are we at here? Where's the market at? The bid-ask spreads now, they're not too bad, I guess. 75 was the last, our target is up here. We got another minute. We'll see what's in this last card. We have a lot of buyers coming in here, though. This is a good thing, right? This is a good, really nice candle. Wow, what happened? So we got one of our units here, and this is what happens when you have a thin market, right? We got one of our units. So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to move this down to 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do, plus a couple ticks here, 50%, kind of trail the stop up as you go. And there's my second target. I'm going to leave this one alone. It's in micro, so it can give me a little bit of peace of mind right now. Okay, everybody, what is it, Thursday? Yeah, I think we have another event coming up soon. I don't remember which one it is, which is bad because I got to do it. I should probably know what I'm talking about in a couple of minutes here. Common mistakes new futures traders make is the event that is at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So in an hour from now, feel free to come, same place on the platform training page for NinjaTrader. And then Thursdays, I think it's probably going to be our last futures trading one-on-one event for a while. Maybe not. That's Thursday at 12. And then Thursday, also tomorrow morning, we'll be doing this exact same thing tomorrow. So feel free to chime in. Appreciate everyone's feedback and give and take and all that stuff. Going back to the ES right now. Let's see. So 3. Let's just end on this note right here. Where are we at here? Wow. All right. So we did not get our retracement yet. We didn't get it. We're only 4 handles away from it right now. I still feel like there's a shot at us getting it. So I guess this is kind of a roll the dice. I mean, it's going into a time when, I'm probably not going to be interested in trading at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel these. They might be good ideas. They might not be good ideas, but at this point, I'm not interested anymore. Okay. Thanks again for coming, everybody. Tell your friends. I appreciate the thumbs up on the YouTube channel, even though YouTube was giving us a hard time today. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming. And I do want to remind everybody, be safe out there and take care of each other. Hopefully see you soon.